Call to order. Welcome to Aurora's Committee of Adjustment meeting. The time is 7:03 p.m. on Thursday, August 8, 2024. I would like to call this Committee of Adjustment meeting to order. I will start by introducing the committee members and staff. I am the committee chair. My name is David Mhango, and the remaining members are as follows. Jane Stevenson, Vice Chair, Christopher Posineri, Michael Visconti, and Julian Young. The Secretary Treasurer is Peter Fan, and the Senior Planner is Antonio Greco. Land acknowledgement. The town of Aurora acknowledges that the Anishinaabe lands on which we live and work are the traditional and treaty territory of the Chippewas of Georgina Island, as well as many other nations whose presence here continues this day. As the closest First Nation community to Aurora, we recognize the special relationship the Chippewas have with the lands and waters of this territory. They are the water protectors and environmental stewards of these lands, and as a municipality, we join them in these responsibilities. We further acknowledge that Aurora is part of the treaty lands of the Mississaugas and Chippewas, recognized through Treaty Number 13, as well as Williams Treaties of 1923. A shared understanding of the rich cultural heritage that has existed for centuries and how our collective past brought us to where we are today will help us walk together into a better future. Tonight's meeting will now commence. We'll start with the approval of agenda. Now I require a mover and a seconder from the committee members. Jane Stevenson is the mover. Seconder, Julian Young. All in favor of the motion? Motion carried. Declaration of interest. To the members, are there any declarations of pecuniary interest and the general nature thereof? I see heads shaking, so none. Confirmation of past minutes. I would like to have a mover and a seconder.
I'll move approval of the past minutes.
Okay, Michael Visconti, any seconder for this motion? Christopher Posineri. All in favor of the motion? Motion carried. Now we'll start hearing the applications. This public meeting is being audio and video recorded. It is also being conducted virtually and through the use of Zoom technology. Your name, address, comments, and any other personal information are being recorded according to the Municipal Act and the Municipal Freedom of Information and Protection of Privacy Act. This will help our town clerk prepare accurate minutes and to create a record that is available to the general public, including on the town's website. Questions about this correction should be directed to the town clerk. Please be advised that the reports being considered tonight are available on the Town of Aurora website and through staff at the town's planning department. Should you wish to receive notification of any of the decisions of tonight's meeting, please complete the appropriate form available through town staff. Applicants and agents will automatically be notified. For each application that will be considered tonight, the following process will occur. I will briefly outline the purpose of the applications, and then the applicant or agent will then be given the opportunity to make a presentation. However, one is not required. It is the applicant's decision whether they wish to speak or let the application proceed on the merits of the information as received. Presentations and deputations are limited to 5 minutes, as much as possible. Following any initial comments from the applicant, I will invite members of the public who have interest in the application to come forward and address the committee. Those members of the public who wish to speak must clearly state their name and address and must provide this information to the Secretary Treasurer. Should you wish to obtain a copy of the notice of decision, please complete the appropriate form available through the Secretary Treasurer. Members of the public are reminded that that text comments are not permitted during the meeting, and that they will not be noted in any manner or at any time. Each individual may speak only once on an issue, and once discussion has commenced in respect of a motion, no further presentations shall be made. If you require any technical assistance with your presentation, please let me know. If you wish to speak and are currently following this meeting on the YouTube feed, you will need to turn the feed off and join this live meeting, as there is a slight lag between the YouTube and the live feed. Please ensure that all questions and all comments are directed through me as the chair, and if relevant, I will request the appropriate person to respond. It should be noted that the applicant will be given the opportunity to respond to any questions or comments should the committee feel that is appropriate. We'll now start reviewing the applications. The first application is the consent application for 1623 Wellington Street Developments Limited. The consent file number is C-2024-03. The application. The purpose of the proposed consent application is to sever these subject lands with frontages along a private lane, Sunday Drive, as follows. The proposed severed lands, they consist of part 1 of the draft plan of severance, lot area of 0.607 hectares or 1.5 acres. The proposed retained lands, they consist of part 2 of the draft plan of severance, which are lot area with a lot area of 1.89 hectares, which is 4.68 acres. Public correspondence. There are no supporting letters and there are also no opposing letters. In conclusion, staff are satisfied with the proposed consent application. Staff have no objection to the approval of the consent application, subject to the 7 conditions in the staff report. And that's the application. Now, do we have the applicant or agent with us here?
Hello, everyone. Can you hear me?
Yes. So if you could introduce yourself to us, whether you are the agent or owner.
Thank you, Mr. Chair and members of the committee. Good evening, everyone. My name is Daniel Zhang, and I am the applicant on behalf of 1623 Wellington Street Developments Limited at 3200 Highway 7, Vaughan, Ontario. I was just wondering, I don't see an option to share my screen. Peter, if you don't mind bringing up the application presentation. Perfect. Mr. Chair, am I ready to begin?
Yes, please.
Perfect. Well, thank you again, Mr. Chair and members of the committee. The property being discussed today is municipally known as 63 Sunday Drive, formerly 1623 Wellington Street East, and it's located at the southeast corner of Wellington and Goulding Avenue, just west off the 404 off-ramp. We are seeking to consent to sever 1.5 acres of vacant land from the existing 6.18 acre parcel for the purposes of a land severance and land sale. The site will be accessible from Sunday Drive directly. We have reviewed all comments from staff and have no objections to the positive report. We request that our consent application thus be approved. Thank you for your time, and I'd be very happy to answer any additional questions.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Zhang. Do we have any delegates?
Through you, Mr. Chair, there are no public delegations for this application.
Okay. So I'll ask the committee members if they have any questions or comments.
Peter, do you mind bringing up the presentation again? It just might be better to see the severed lot. Thank
For
you.
sure.
Any questions or comments from committee members? I can see Michael and Chris shaking their heads. I'm not okay. Let me see here. Okay, what view should I have? Let's move to the side. Okay. Anything from Jane or Julian? Any questions? Any comments?
Through you, Mr. Chair.
Yes, please.
So question for the applicant, is there the use for this severed, so it's for office use, right? Has
Yes.
it been sold already or not yet?
The lands are in the process of a severance and subsequent land sale, and the purchaser is proposing to move forward with a office development that'll be secured through site plan application.
Okay, thank you.
Any other questions from the committee members? For me, it's just a confirmation. It's not really a question. I can see access is available. I've been to the site. And I also see that the maybe other services, water or sanitary, they are available to others. I just want to confirm if the services, water services, sanitary services that have been already extended to service these two lands, the severed and the retained lands.
Sorry, Mr. Chair, do you mind rephrasing that?
Yes. So my question is, I know there are developments around the area. Definitely, they've got the water services, they've got the water for drinking water, they've got the sanitary sewers to convey, the sewage and so on. I'm just trying to check and confirm. It's just a confirming. It's not really a big deal. If such services have already been extended on that portion of the road to service the severed lands as well as the retained lands.
There are services in place along Sunday Drive currently. Any alterations or additions that would be required that are identified through the submission of a FSR to the town of Aurora. Any upgrades that will be required, that may be required, will be put in place. And there is existing services along Sunday Drive that can be tapped into.
Okay. Maybe the town staff. This is just a general question. Since the lands have been severed and you know the proposed use, would there be any impact on anything like proximity to the 404 lamp in terms of height of the office or buildings or whatever type of use they're going to have? The reason is I'm asking. I know for the inn there, the hotel on the south, they had to go through some variances and so on. So I'm just wondering if there will be any variances for these two lands, if you know the use.
Through you, Mr. Chair, I believe that we are outside the MTO control area as we are slightly west of the barrier around the 404 off-ramp and on-ramp. Any considerations that would have to be made for the MTO will be addressed through the application process, and if they were to rise up, we will make sure to address them through as they come through. But I do not believe currently we are subject to any major restriction or application through the MTO.
Okay, Antonio, go ahead.
Yeah, through you, Mr. Chair. Just wanted to confirm that's accurate, and any site plan application will be circulated to the MTO just to assure that if there are any requirements, which I don't foresee there being none, just due to the buffer that's provided for the parcels, but we will circulate just to be safe, but confirming that what the applicant stated is accurate.
Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you,
So I
Antonio.
Okay, so I see any other questions or any other questions just in case to the committee members? No. So we're looking for a motion from one of the members. Michael?
Through you, Mr. Chair, I read through the staff report. This is good planning, I think, for the subject lands and the vicinity, and so therefore I move to approve the application subject to Appendix A, all the recommended conditions of approval. And if the applicant's okay with the recommended conditions of approval, I move to approve the application.
Okay, do we have a seconder for that motion? Julian is the seconder. All in favor of this motion? Motion is carried. Thank you. So thank you, Mr. Daniel Zhang. We appreciate coming here, making a presentation to us. So your application has been approved.
Through you, Mr. Chair, thank you very much to members of the committee as well, and have a great evening.
Thank you. Okay, we move to the next application. And this is a minor variance application, AMV-2024-18 for Kwan Yang. I hope I've pronounced the name correctly. The applicant is requesting relief from the requirements of the town's comprehensive zoning bylaw 6000-17 as amended to facilitate the construction of a one-story addition, a front porch, and an open-sided roof porch. The following relief is being requested. Section 18.1.2.1 states uncovered decks and minor additions, including open-sided roof porches and balconies, may be permitted on legally existing residential lots, provided that they do not exceed 50 square meters on the ground floor and are located outside the key natural features and hydrologically sensitive features. The applicant is proposing to construct a 65.43 square meters first story addition for the 4.78 square meter open-sided roof porch and 21.77 square meter front porch, therefore a total of 131.98 square meters. The applicant stated reasons for not complying with the zoning bylaw. The proposed enhancements to the residence include the expansive double height entrance foyer, a new grand piano area, a library, and an extended rear covered deck with a barbecue area are designed with a keen focus on both aesthetics and functionality. These additions will significantly elevate the visual appeal and usability of the home, seamlessly integrating indoor comfort with outdoor accessibility. However, these developments result in an increased floor area that surpasses the 50 square meter limit imposed under the CORM designation, necessitating a minor variance. On our variance application, we will stress that the aesthetic enhancements, such as the striking entrance and the meticulously planned library and piano area, are thoughtfully designed to enhance the property's visual impact and functional flow. Similarly, the functional upgrade provided by the covered deck offers a practical solution for all-weather outdoor enjoyment, closely tied to the kitchen's layout for optimal utility. We will argue that these improvements are essential for achieving a harmonious balance between the homeowner's lifestyle demands and the architectural integrity of the neighborhood, ensuring that the additions are not only desirable, but also respectful of community standards and local bylaws. Public correspondence, there are no supporting letters, there are no opposing letters. In conclusion, planning staff are of the opinion that the requested variance meets the core tests of the Planning Act for granting of minor variances. Staff recommend approval of the requested variance subject to the two conditions in the staff report. So that's the application, and I can see that we have an agent, Ken Tai, with us. If you could give us your name and address, please.
Good evening, Chair and Committee. I'm Ken Tai from Tarchitect. My address is 12 Rosemount Avenue, Markham. I'm represent my client, Jessica, from 33 Oak Court. Okay.
So if you would like to make a presentation or provide any comments, you can go ahead.
Okay, I'm gonna share the screen. Oh, okay. Is that Peter, would you mind to press the F5 for the presentation? Because I'm having and some animations required, if that's any options for that. Okay, perfect. Can you press space? Yes, this is you can see this is our site located in between Bayview and Bloomington, and on the left is existing survey, and the right is our proposed site plan. You can see the highlighted orange is the existing building, and then the addition is highlighted in blue. Would you mind to press the space bar, Peter? Yeah, we're proposing the front and then large existing rear deck. We're only asking for one minor variance, is 131 or 98 square meter proposed area. Okay, next please. Just a quick overview for the area that we're doing. We're just repeating what I'm saying. Can you press the button, Peter? Yeah, the blue area showing is the proposed addition first floor, 65.43 area, which is the piano and the enlarge of the main entrance. Peter, click please. The green is the rear deck, the extension of the existing deck. And then please click. Yeah, and then the light green is the front porch that we're proposing, which is mimicking the existing front porch existing. We just push it forward to obtain the similar look of the building. Can you press the button? Yeah. You can see this is the existing floor plan. Can you press space bar, and then gradually showing the proposed site plan. Press button, please. Yeah, I put in side by side, just minor addition in the front, and also a slightly larger deck on the back. Excuse me. Yeah. So the last image, excuse me, is the bird eye views, showing where is the existing building and also the proposed addition that we're going after. So hopefully that's clearly showing my constructions and proposed constructions, and if any questions, I'm able to answer. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Do we have any public delegates? Peter?
Through you, Mr. Chair, there are no public delegations for this application.
Okay. So any questions, comments from the committee members? Christopher?
Through you, Mr. Chair. Initially, when I had read through the staff report, the first part of it, I guess my question was, does this constitute a minor addition, right? And so when we look at the zoning bylaw, I think it's important for the public to note that it's a flat rate, this 50 square meter limit. So it doesn't take into account the size of the lot. So when we go to page 6 of the staff report, there's a paragraph there that I think is very important and pertinent. So this is a comment, not a question. So when we look at the total coverage of 0.82, it is still, even though it's more than double what the zoning standard is, it still is a very small percentage of the total lot coverage, which supports the staff opinion of it being minor in nature. And so the presentation and application was very clear and well done. And I think that what you're trying to do and what the applicant is trying to do, it really well suits the neighborhood and would be additive. And even though it's more than double the ground like square meter rule, I think it definitely is in line with the tests here that are outlined in the staff report. So I do not have any further questions or comments about the application. And thanks for the great presentation.
Thank you, Chris.
Okay, thank you, Chris. Any other comments from members of the committee? Christopher? Sorry, Michael.
Through you, Mr. Chair. I too read the staff report, and the overall size of the lot, 2.5 acres, more than accommodates, and I think it's good planning, and it's a benefit to the neighborhood as well. Just a question for the applicant, though, is will the first floor addition also have a full basement underneath?
Yes, there's a full basement underneath, because it's a one story, but it's actually two. We are mimicking the existing house, so the entrance is actually 2-story high, but it's open to above. So it's like for construction purpose, we have to have a foundation. Yeah. And existing area, those the planters, existing planter areas. Yeah.
And when you talk about an open-sided porch roof, like do you have a diagram of what that's going to look like? So it's not a 4-season closed off area, right?
If Peter can bring out the presentation, the last page of the 3D bird eye view, that is showing at the last page. The right side is where's my proposed, and the the right side is where I'm showing the open porch. The left right now, you're moving it. The shaded gray at the left side, that is the proposed roof cover the deck, and that's all. It's all open. Yeah,
it's all open. All right. Yeah. Okay. And there's no pool, swimming pool on the property at this point?
There's an existing swimming pool, and we're not going to touch it. Yeah.
Okay. So I guess the next question I have is for staff. I'm just trying to understand recommended conditions of approval. Number 2, a road occupancy permit must be obtained through Public Works. Can staff maybe explain that to me? Like, is there going to be issues with parking on the street, or like, how does that work?
Through you, Mr. Chair. The road occupancy permit is just a standard condition we use when there's construction on properties. It's just to ensure that you know, we're taking into effect the residents in the area to make sure that any construction is being done in a safe manner. It's not creating any traffic on the court specifically for this application. But it's not it's a condition we tend to use just to be safe and just to acknowledge the surrounding residents and to ensure that the homeowner is conducting construction appropriately.
Because I haven't seen that in past staff appendix recommendations. Is it unique to this area or property, or?
It's through you, Mr. Chair. It's to the discretion of our operations team. Sometimes they feel that a road occupancy based on what's being done on a specific property is not needed. For this specific application, there are 2 additions that are being proposed. So they recommended this condition, and planning is in support of that condition, and I believe also the applicant didn't object to the enforcement of that.
Again, through you, Mr. Chair, just first for the public and I guess for staff, question for staff. Obviously, this property doesn't have municipal servicing, right? It's on private septic tank and well water. Is that correct?
Yep, this is a public, septic tank. Yeah.
Yeah, does the septic tank need upsizing or has that been looked at by engineering department?
From my experience, we're not adding any rooms, and the area is less than a certain percentage. We don't need to upsize the septic consultants or septic existing septic, but we will have septic consultants when we're doing the building permit application, make sure everything is designed accordingly.
Okay, thank you. That's all my questions. Thank you for.
Okay, thank you, Michael. Any other comments or questions from other members? I can see Julian shaking the head and even James shaking the head. So my question is just to just confirming. I can see you already have the impervious area is actually a big area there, and you construction you have construction vehicles and so on, probably a little bit of disturbing the area. Are you planning to provide any erosion control measures like silt fence or tree preservation? I know the trees are a bit far. Any tree preservation or any of those like preventing erosion, like it will be raining and so on, and you got all the sediments going down from the construction area going down to the nearby wood areas and other natural heritage features.
I think right now I don't have the answer. Upon the building division, like the department, if they require an erosion plan, we will provide it definitely. We're really far away from the construction is actually far away from everything. The front is actually in the front phase of the building. I don't think we will create any issues, but if the staff required, we will provide the erosion or silt fence to protect the area.
A question to just a follow-up question to the staff, Antonio. So, would you assure us? I know this will come probably as part of the site plan application, or I don't know, whatever development application. Will you ensure that like erosion sediment control fences, things like those, they'll be provided during whatever like site plan application which will be coming in the future, or should we put that as a condition here that should be provided?
Through you, Mr. Chair, that would all be covered. So just to take a step back, if this application were to get approved, the applicant would strictly apply for building permits to construct their desired project. As part of the building permit, they will be taking a look at the existing septic on the site, and if there's any upsizing, as mentioned before, that would need to take place if this desired project will need to come into fruition. In terms of erosion, that would also be looked at through the submission of the building permit, ensuring that our site inspectors and our engineers are on site to evaluate the proposal and ensuring that that's all taken care of. So just to reiterate for the benefit of the committee, following this application would be straight to building permit, and during that stage they would be taking a look at all these measures. There wouldn't necessarily be a site plan application before the town's planning department.
Okay, thank you for assurance. Then I don't think there'll be, in my opinion, need of introducing a condition for that. And I'll trust your opinion, Antonio. So any other questions, follow-up questions or comments from members of the committee? I see none. So looking for any motions from committee members. Christopher.
Through you, Mr. Chair, I put forward a motion to approve the application MB-2024-19, subject to the conditions outlined in the staff report.
Okay, thank you, Chris. Do you have a seconder? Okay, I can see Jane is already. So you are seconding Jane?
Yes, I will second that motion.
Okay, thank you. So all in favor of this motion? Motion carried. Ken, your application has been approved, and thank you for being with us tonight.
Thank you. Thank you, Chair.
Have a
Thank you.
good night.
You
Yeah.
too. Have a good night.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, so new business or unfinished business. Do you have any new business, Antonio or Peter, or members of the committee? Okay, so none. So I'll look for a motion for adjournment from one of the committee members. Okay, Michael. Okay, the meeting is being, yeah. So anyway, you have moved. So the meeting has been adjourned. So thank you very much, all of you, for coming, for being present tonight. Thank you.